24 hours a day, 365 days a year. WOCA News. Variety. Information. Now. Keep your arms and legs on the inside at all times.
The most trusted name in news, Fox News, every half hour, only on 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
WOCA.
25 minutes before 8 o'clock, 66 degrees here at WOCA, broadcasting live from the Paddock Mall. So thank you for tuning in. Got a debatable topic on a statewide level, and we'll talk about that in just a little bit. It has to do with spending money to buy land for conservation purposes. So I'll tell you what our legislators are bantering about. Bantering? Is that a good word? Bantering about?
Bantering.
First, a couple of fun things. First of all, if you ever wondered if lie detectors, can have false readings, remember this story. There's a lumberjack, a Chinese lumberjack, who says he slept with an alien.
Okay.
Slept with as in had sex with.
Uh-huh.
And he passed the lie detector test.
Well, it means it's true then. Must be true.
Well, it could be. He passed the lie detector test. Anyway, so this happened in 1994. 1994. The guy's name is Meng Xiaoguo. Meng Xiaoguo.
Uh-huh.
Okay. 1994, he was out in his home, wherever he lives, near the Dragon Mountains. I guess that would be in China. And he saw a metallic glint, I don't know the word glint, shimmer off of the Dragon Mountains.
Okay.
Well, he thought a helicopter had crashed, so he went out to scavenge for scrap metal from the This is 1994.
Gosh.
So he made it to the valley, spying on the wreckage from a distance, and then FOOM, foom. Foom, and then foom, something hit him square in the forehead and knocked him out.
Wow.
He awoke at home with no memory of how he got there.
Uh-huh.
A few nights later, he woke to find himself floating over the bed.
Oh, my gosh.
Keep in mind that everything I'm telling you, he said, he passed a lie detector test.
Yeah.
He found himself floating over his bed.
Yeah. Huh.
His wife was sleeping on her side of the bed beneath him.
Uh-huh.
That's when a 10-foot tall, 6-fingered alien woman with thighs coated in braided hair
Oh, my gosh.
straddled his waist.
While he's floating.
While he's floating over his wife.
She doesn't feel a thing. The wife
Well,
doesn't.
he's floating.
Yeah.
He's not going to move the bed if he's floating.
Well, she must have been floating too then, the alien.
The alien was floating too. Well, she's
okay.
riding him like a raft, I guess.
Right.
Meng and the alien did the wild thing for 40 minutes.
Oh, my God.
He passed the lie detector test. Just keep remembering that.
Yeah.
Then, after 40 minutes, it's not a bad length of time, I would say.
No,
She disappeared through the wall, and then he floated back down to his bed.
Uh-huh. There's no residue on him or anything like that? It's,
There was a scar.
DNA stuff.
2-inch long jagged mark.
Oh.
And he still has that mark. There's no telling. The guy's a lumberjack.
There you go.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Things can happen when you're cutting down trees.
Exactly.
2 inches is probably not that big of a deal for a lumberjack.
Yeah,
a 2-inch
probably
scar.
not.
Yeah.
No.
Anyway, when he drew the creature for the reporter who did this story, and you can look it up, it's in the news this morning. Just put in Chinese lumberjack in Google News and you'll find it.
Well, the aliens probably come back for child support. You didn't pay it all these years.
1994, yeah. How old is the Chinese alien crossbreed?
Yeah. 20
Braided
years old.
thighs. It's the new fetish.
No, those are those little wigs. It's probably where they got
the
the
Merkins.
idea from.
It was a Merkin.
It's a merkin.
Yes.
He'd probably found in the Merkins.
All right. Anyway, so the guy giving him the lie detector test and doing with him during the lie, he didn't give him the test, but he was with him during the test. And the guy who wrote the story said he drew a picture of what she looked like, and she looked like the hairy cousin of the Michelin Man. Just remember, he passed the lie detector test. That is my point.
Yeah, that's the wow.
Have very little faith in those lie detector tests.
Yeah,
Although
exactly.
I know we had an FBI guy. Remember?
Yeah, we did.
He told me he could tell right away.
Yeah, he didn't need a machine.
All right, and now I have one more pop culture kind of a thing, and then we'll talk about the debate over the state buying conservation land. You know the movie 50 First Dates?
Yes.
Okay, it came out in 2004. I did not see it.
Uh-huh.
However, there's something kind of cool that is, I guess, noticed for the first time by some observant person. In the movie, there's a character named Lucy. Lucy is played by Drew Barrymore.
Okay.
Adam Sandler plays her boyfriend who has to continually make her fall in love with him again for like 50 dates or something like that, right?
Yeah. So she forgets when she falls asleep. She forgets.
Every day she wakes up. So Henry, her father, and her brother take her to the Callahan Institute.
Uh-huh.
The Callahan Institute, that's the clinic where Lucy recovered after her car accident.
Uh-huh.
There, at the Callahan Institute, they meet Lucy's doctor, played by Dan Aykroyd.
Okay.
Then Aykroyd gives Henry a tour of the Institute, and he says the following two lines. Callahan Institute is the leading brain injury clinic in the Pacific Rim. We are funded out of Sandusky, Ohio by T.B. Callahan, the automotive components tycoon and philanthropist.
Okay.
That's the part that you may not have noticed before. Because in the movie Tommy Boy, Tommy Boy's last name is Callahan. Tommy Boy is played by Chris Farley, the late Chris Farley.
Oh.
And in the movie Tommy Boy Callahan, also T.B. Callahan, the guy who gave the money for this clinic, right, in the Pacific Rim. So Tommy Boy Callahan says he must save his family company, the Callahan Auto Company, which makes car parts in Sandusky, Ohio.
Oh my gosh.
So there you go. Brian Dennehy plays the dad, Thomas Big Tom Callahan Jr. So the philanthropist who runs the brain clinic is probably Tommy Boy Callahan, T.B. Callahan.
Wow. Isn't that something?
Just to make sure that you don't care about this. Peter Segal directed both Tommy Boy and 50 First Dates.
He did?
Yeah, and Dan Aykroyd had minor roles in both of those films.
Oh, okay. Isn't that fascinating? He tried to connect them to each other.
Yeah, in Tommy Boy, he plays Ray Zelinsky, an auto parts tycoon who comes close to buying out Tommy's company. So.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Wow.
So now you have an interesting bit of pop culture, something that's trending right now on the internet.
That is cool.
People who care about those two movies are talking about it.
Yeah, but that is cool.
All right, so let me start the issue that the state of our legislators are debating, and we'll take the break and then come back. And your calls are an important part of this, as far as I'm concerned, because I don't have an opinion. There is money in our state budget for rural lands, beaches, and the Everglades. Lawmakers are preparing to negotiate details on the state budget. Debate continues over whether more money from Florida's Land and Water Conservation Amendment should go toward buying more property for conservation. We've already bought a lot.
Yeah.
Amendment 1 is the Land and Water Conservation provision sponsored by Florida's Water and Land Legacy. It passed with 75% of the vote back in November. So now our legislators are trying to figure out how to honor the voters' wishes. The measure sets aside 1/3 of money collected through taxes on real estate documentary stamps.
Oh, okay.
To protect environmentally sensitive areas for the next 20 years. Protecting them is protecting the same as buying them.
Okay.
You have to buy something in order to protect it.
Yeah.
About $750 million is expected to be set aside in the first year, and Florida's Water and Land Legacy had hoped the state would dedicate $170 million of that to Florida Forever, which is a program to buy land for preservation. So House and Senate leaders don't appear to be close to the number they want, and there's a debate about that, and we'll talk about it when we come back.
Oh, okay.
I want to hear what you have to say, Robin, as well as you, the listeners. The number is 622-9622, and we will be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. It'll be partly sunny and warm today with a shower or thunderstorm around during the afternoon and evening, the high 82 to 86. Partly cloudy overnight, low 64 to 68. Sunshine mixing with building clouds tomorrow with a thunderstorm around at the afternoon, the high 84 to 88. Thursday, sunshine and warm, the high 85 to 89. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Are you tired of not using your home's outdoor space for entertaining or relaxation because of all the bugs and leaves? Consider adding a beautiful screen room or glass enclosure. We are Superior Aluminum and Design, a family-owned and operated business with 20 years experience in the aluminum industry, and we are accredited by the Better Business Bureau. If you appreciate superior workmanship, call Superior Aluminum and Design at 817-8058 or visit us on the web at superiораluminumdesign.com.
Is your credit headed in the wrong direction? If so, Florida Credit Union can help turn it around. If the signs are reading missing payments, maxing out cards, or borrowing from financing companies, it's time to steer your credit to safety. Pull into a Florida Credit Union today and let us help you map out a personalized credit management plan. Get a free credit report analysis and advice to help you consolidate wisely. A better plan can get you to a better place. Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life. Federally insured by the NCUA.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
Keep up with what's going on in the downtown area with Ocala Downtown Newspaper. Delivering thousands of newspapers to businesses in the downtown area, Ocala Downtown is there to keep you informed. They even have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company that fits your needs, and all we ask in return is that you tell them where you heard about it. It's simple. For more info, just call Tom's Picks, 352-804-1223, and pick up your copy of the Downtown Ocala newspaper today. Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
Buried under receipts and confusing tax code? Let Crippen & Company help. They work hard to make the tax preparation process as painless as possible. With offices in Ocala and the Villages, their team is dedicated to helping clients with corporate and personal tax returns, bookkeeping for businesses, and estate planning for the future. Crippen & Company crafts a truly customized experience for each client's needs while alleviating stress and creating a big picture of your overall financial health. Call 352-732-4260 or visit crippencpa.com to get started.
We are The Source, WOCA.
All right, 12 minutes before 8 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in this Tuesday morning. So we're talking about a debate over the state buying conservation land. And just to recap, about $750 million is expected to be set aside. However, House and Senate leaders don't appear to be close to that number. The state House set aside $10.5 million for Florida Forever. The Senate initially put just $2 million. That's a very low, those are both very low figures compared to the $750 million. Some lawmakers and other officials say there needs to be a greater focus on managing the land Florida already owns. And that mindset is opposing those people who say, no, the intent of the amendment and therefore the voters was to have more money to buy more land, more state lands. So some of our legislators saying, no, that money is to manage what we already have.
Can't they read the bill that the people voted on to find out exactly what it is? Instead of just interpreting it their own way?
Yeah. Well, maybe it wasn't clear. Growth and development is starting to pick up again, and a lot of valuable lands that are either on the state acquisition list or have been identified are going to be increasingly threatened by development. That is the statement from Will Aberger, chairman of the Florida's Water and Land Legacy, and that is his reason for buying more land, because if you don't buy it, somebody else will, and it will be built on. And there's this whole notion that Florida's water supplies are running low because we have too many people living here. So if you have the state buy more land, then nobody can buy it to live on, and that problem is at least partially fixed. Last Wednesday, the state Senate bumped up its Florida Forever spending to $15 million, but many environmental organizations said that amount still doesn't cut it. Remember, there's $750 million.
Yeah.
Especially when there's believed to be about 2 million acres of Florida Forever on the priority list of 2 million acres. Neither the State House nor the Senate allocated money to buy 46,800 acres from U.S. Sugar Corporation south of Lake Okeechobee to build a reservoir to move lake water into the Everglades and reduce discharges into the Caloosahatchee and St. Lucie rivers. So I think I get the argument. A couple of arguments. It seems like we have $750 million that we're supposed to be using for these things and we're not, and B, using the money to maintain what we already have versus using the money to buy more.
Yeah.
And then the argument on the side of those who want to buy more is, if you buy more, then developers won't put houses on it, and we won't have the urban sprawl or urban sprawl, whatever. And play. And the phone line is occupied, but you're welcome to call. The number is 622-9622. You can call in and express your opinion on this. As you can probably tell, I don't really have much of an opinion. Good morning. You're on the air. Do you have an opinion?
Yes, this is a fascinating topic, Larry, and it's got a bunch of different layers to it, so I'm glad you brought it up.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And the first thing we all have to agree on is we want clean water to drink, and we don't want to destroy our environment. So we all have to agree that we're on the same page. Regardless if we're environmentalists or real estate developers, we all want that.
That's right.
One of the red flags that I see waving here is this was a constitutional amendment that was put on the ballot, because we know that the legislature, when they want to duck an issue or they want to keep their fingerprints off something, they let it get on the constitutional amendment thing for the ballot, so they don't have to be on the record as voting. And that's what they did with the marijuana thing, and that's what they did with this environmental thing. So let's remember that. And now there's all this money floating around, and you know what happens, Larry, when there's a lot of money floating around? People get sticky fingers.
That's right.
They're running ads on TV right now. I know maybe not everyone's seen them, but they're running ads on TV telling people to call the legislature to get them to buy, XYZ piece of property south of Lake Okeechobee. And then, if they got enough money to run ads on TV, there's some big money behind that. It's probably the sugar company. And in other cases, there's probably somebody whose brother-in-law owns a piece of property somewhere, that somebody in the legislature wants to throw the money that way, or a lobbyist that helps them get elected, or some other special interest group that wants to get some of that money. Everybody wants a little taste of it. And I feel that there's got to be some ulterior motives going on here. And we want to, we want to protect land and everything, but I do think that it's just sound practice that they should use the majority of this money to protect and maintain what we already have and get that up 100% up to standards that we want as citizens of the state of Florida, and then they can slowly buy some more land instead of spreading this money around and helping out somebody's brother-in-law or some big corporation or some lobbyist. Let's maintain the state lands that we already have, and then slowly buy stuff instead of going out and spending this money foolishly like a bunch of people that won the lottery, going out and buying Lamborghinis or something. Let's take our time, spend a little bit every year. We don't have to spend the whole $750 million in 1 year, but I'm afraid the way the legislature works and with their wanting to pander to their people that support them, I think that's what's going to happen, Larry. And I know other people want to talk, so if you don't mind, I'll just step outside and let someone else get on there.
Thank you, Pete. Boy, he brought up some really good points. Thank you, Pete. I mean, one of the things that he brought to mind is this notion that somebody who has a hard to sell piece of land says, why don't we just sell it for conservation purposes? And then because the average person is not going to want to buy it, maybe it's a flood zone or something like that, so nobody's going to want to buy it. So why don't you just sell it to the state, tell them to use it as conservation land, and boom. So that could be part of this too. That's an important thing he just kind of brought up. One of the things that are being talked about in the commentary, not in the article itself, but you know how on the internet there's, and I didn't print it up so I can't read it, but you know how they have commentary from readers underneath the articles online?
Sure.
They were talking about how some of the land that is being discussed is beach land. Beachland. It says the proposal set aside money for rural lands, beaches, and agency operating and regulatory expenses. And the beaches is the part that they're worried about. And there's, I guess, the notion, and I guess I wish I had printed them up now, that if the government, in this case it would be the state government, owns the beach land, then there would be regulations about that part of the state. Remember there was a story not too long, well, it's been a while ago, about beachland being a debatable topic before, remember?
Right, exactly.
Let's see.
Sometimes the developers build and then they have to share.
The push to buy U.S. sugar property may be getting most of the attention in the battle over the money, the $750 million. There's also a push to buy small parcels of property to complete the land preservation puzzle. That's an interesting way of putting it.
Yeah.
The Director of Natural Resource Policy at the Conservancy of Southwest Florida is Jennifer Hecker. She is quoted in the article saying that while the U.S. sugar property is important, the state needs to be setting aside money to help organizations across the state buy smaller local projects. Now, what would that mean? That would mean like Ocala having another piece of city park, a city park?
Yeah, right. That's a good interpretation.
Do you feel like when the state owns it and your tax money paid for it, that it's unfair to charge you to go into it?
Yeah.
Do you feel that way?
Yeah, I do.
I mean, it's kind of a very small amount, and I don't mind paying it. I'm not complaining. I think $8 to get into Silver Springs is the most of any state park.
Yeah, they're the most.
And it's a beautiful park, and you can get an annual pass. I'm not trying to sell you on the idea, but it is, the park system is nice. But you know, I went to Jervey Gant on Easter to see my family.
Yep.
Jervey Gant is free. Now that's a city. Is that a city park?
City park.
So if city tax money can buy a park and let you go in and enjoy the park for free, because you've paid for it already with your taxes.
Yeah.
Then how come the state parks aren't that way?
That makes a lot of sense.
Now, I do agree. Now, when we go to, we haven't done this in years, but we used to go to the Withlacoochee rail to trail, whatever it was called.
Yep.
That bicycle trail.
Yep.
That goes from Citrus Springs down to what, Brooksville or something? Goes like 50 miles. Mm-hmm. Okay. You don't pay to use that, but I believe that's owned by the state, right?
Yeah.
And somebody once told me, somebody who was arguing with me that the tax money shouldn't pay for things like that, said to me, "Would you use it if you had to pay for it?" And I said, "Yes, I would pay for it if I to use it."
We like bicycles.
So those who don't want tax money to pay for these things have their wish addressed by having a dollar amount to get in.
Right.
And, I actually see that, but at the same time, anyway. Let's see. Everyone does not believe that the state needs more land in its inventory. Senator Alan Hayes from Umatilla, he's a Republican, said 9.4 million acres, or 27% of the state,
wow,
are publicly owned in Florida.
Wow.
27% of the whole state is owned by the state.
Gosh.
I didn't know that. He says, we don't need to be known as a land hoarding state. Hayes said money should be used to take care of the land the state already owns. I think I'm siding with him on this one.
I agree with that.
The Senate has set aside more than $115 million for land management, while the House earmarked more than $144 million. Environmental groups are still holding out hope that more money will be set aside for more acquisition. And the TV ads that Pete just brought up are in the article as well, asking us, the viewers, to contact the lawmakers.
Yeah, but you can't buy more property if
we are
you
very
have
close.
Trouble taking.
We've got 50 seconds. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Larry, Rob. 9/11. That's not just Florida. It's almost every state in the union. Utah, believe it or not, the government owns a little better than 50% of that state, whether it's federal or state.
Is that right? Wow, I didn't know that.
It's mostly federal. And, they control the natural resources then also.
Sonny, I have to run because of the time, but thank you for that point. That's a great point. All right, we'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Pat O'Neill. Deliberations start today in the Boston Marathon bombing trial of Johar Tsarnaev.
Prosecutors summarized weeks of testimony, replaying video of the bombing, showing photos of the victims, and describing the actions that caused it. The defense said, again, their client was simply following in his brother's radical actions.
Fox Radio's Tanya J. Powers. Princess Anne, Maryland police think carbon monoxide poisoning led to the death of a man and his 7 children. Co-worker Stephanie Wells says Rodney Todd hadn't been seen in over a week.
Figuring that Easter holiday, thought maybe he was going with his kids out of town to his parents' house or somewhere. But when I didn't, I just felt that something was wrong.
The family's electricity had been shut off due to an unpaid bill. They were using a generator. Duke, the new college basketball champion, beating Wisconsin 68-63.
This is just such a special group and, the best team that I've ever been a part of.
Duke guard Tyrus Jones voted the MVP after scoring 23 points. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Fox News Early Prime, breaking down business news and its impact on your bottom line. Your World with Neil Cavuto.
That's how I do business. That's why I am business.
Bold positions and brash opinions on the topics America is buzzing about. The Five.
How do you think this will set in with the American people?
This will be the pulse of the nation.
Washington insight and political know-how from the best in the Beltway. Special report with Brett Bay.
The epicenter of the political world is here.
The #1 place for fair and balanced coverage. Fox News Channel.
What's wrong with working hard to make our lives and our kids' lives better? Nothing. At Fox Business, we don't have a problem with success. We have a very big problem with those who get in the way of it. We don't come out of the box bashing those who make money, just the politicians stealing it and the bureaucracies wasting it. We're not just sitting behind a desk. We're out in the field, on the floor, with the folks. Because when a story moves forward, so do we.
Fox Business, the power to prosper. Check your local listings.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Black Cow composted cow manure is a terrific organic soil amendment. We start with cow manure from dairy farms and then compost it a full 90 days. The result is an all-natural, dark, rich soil amendment that's great for everything you grow. Flowers, vegetables, shrubs, trees, and lawns too. Look for Black Cow in the bright yellow and black bag at your favorite nursery or garden center.
Black Cow, the mature manure, Black Cow.
Whether you're building it up or knocking it down, get it done, rent it now. Sunbelt Rentals is here to make your job a little easier. Our knowledgeable staff will help you find the right equipment for any job, big or small. Did you know that Sunbelt Rentals carries heaters, air conditioners, generators, lighting, traffic control, and so much more? So whether you're building it up or knocking it down, we've got the equipment you need. Get it done, rent it now. And right now, for a limited time, you can have it for less. Just by mentioning this ad, if you rent it Friday afternoon, you can keep it the whole weekend and only pay for one day. And this is a limited time offer, so stop into Sunbelt Rentals today, Northwest 27th, just a quarter mile east of I-75. For more information, just give us a call, 352-369-9101. 352-369-9101. Sunbelt Rentals. Get it done, rent it now. 352-369-9101.
Hi, I'm Seth with AA Lock, Dock, and Security. Have you ever thought about the locks or security on your house or business? Have you ever wondered why the keys to your new car cost so much? Well, at AA Lock, Dock, and Security, we can help with securing your valuables. We can even replace those expensive transponder keys. We can give you the knowledge that no one else will. Call AA Lock, Dock, and Security at 867-1965. That's 867-1965.
What are the most common questions those nearing retirement are asking? Will I outlive my money?